when you have to repeat something over and over and over again. You have to give the same instructions like 10 times a day, and you're wondering what's wrong. Why am I not being heard? Or even not around doing things, instructions in the house, but about the way they behave, or going out, or friends and stuff like that, and you're wondering, or even the academics, and you're wondering, why is he not hearing me? Why can't he hear me? Am I that invincible? Hello dear parents, how have you been? This is Kiki, your girl, and today I want to be talking about being heard. Now, a lot of us parents, we have issues with feeling that our sons do not hear us. I've heard a lot of parents say, I talk to him, I tell him this, he doesn't hear, he didn't hear, blah, blah, blah. So there is the issue of us wanting to be heard. And because we feel we're not being heard, we yell, we raise our voices so that we can be sure they hear us. But again, after raising our voices, it's still very obvious these boys can't hear me. These boys are not listening. And how do we know that? When you have to repeat something over and over and over again, you have to give the same instructions like 10 times a day, and you're wondering what's wrong. Why am I not being heard? Or even not around doing things, instructions in the house, but about the way they behave, or going out, or friends and stuff like that, and you're wondering, or even the academics, and you're wondering, why is he not hearing me? Why can't he hear me? Am I that invincible? Or how else am I meant to communicate with him to be able to hear me, for him to be able to hear me, or for me to be sure he can hear me? Now, parents, particularly if a parent of a teenage boy, trust me, you're not alone on this. A lot of us feel they can't hear us. I was there at some point and I'm like, okay, how do I talk to you for you to be able to hear me? If you know me very well, one of the things I do a lot is have conversations with my sons. The how-to conversation. How do you want to? How can I? How should I? What do you? I have those questions a lot. I ask them, and we have those conversations a lot. But again, talking about being heard, one of the things that I've done as a parent, other than those how to, it's having discussions, conversations with them. Okay, this is something that we need to do, and then we sit down and plan how we want to do that thing together. This is something you need to do. We sit down and plan how they would do that thing together. Now, I know a lot of our children are sitting exams this season, and when it comes to studying for boys, some of them, not all of them, they kind of, particularly the ones that are very bright. I was once scared that, gosh, help my son, because he's intelligent, he's bright, but if he doesn't, get into the culture of studying and studying hard, he might have problems. And because I was worried of that, I was thinking, okay, how do I make him know that there is dignity in hard work? You're intelligent, you get it right, you don't need to study, blah, blah, blah. But there comes a time where that story would change. And what I did was, I had a conversation. I sat him down, and I had gone to do my research on importance of studying, the importance of hard work and everything. And I put them down and I said, okay, one after the other, read this headline and let's talk about it. So having the conversation with them. Even for my youngest son, there was a time I can't remember how, when I was like, what's wrong with this boy? I went and said, we need to talk. And then we sat down to talk about that issue. And all of those things, other than the fact that it's helping me as a parent communicate with my child so he can hear me, it's also helping him build communication skills. Do you know, a lot of men today, when you say we need to talk, they run away, they get angry. Or when there are things to talk about, particularly things that we term tough topics, they run away, they get angry. Or when you sit down and you're having the conversations, before you know it, in the middle of the conversation, they just get angry, throw tantrums, and then they leave. It's because they've not developed that skill of that communication skill. And it bothers down on us parents to help our children develop those skills. And that's why when our children go into the office, or most of us, when we go into the office, we're intimidated, we're not able to talk. We want to be able to ensure that our children, particularly our sons, who will be leaders of tomorrow, who will be heads of families,